All right, now we're cooking. Good evening. Happy Labor Day. It's nice to see all of you. It's nice to be around. Don't mind me. I'm just having a little drink. This is not what I'm drinking tonight. In fact, let me grab that. We have an Elijah Craig barrel proof blast from the past tonight. That is what is in this glass. What I have here is Sagamore Spirits PX Sherry Barrel Finish. It is a release from 2022. I still have most of the bottle left. And after the Amontillado finish Sagamore Spirit Rye that I had a week ago, I figured I'd revisit this PX Sherry cask. And man, is it good. Definitely more rye forward and not quite as rich and fruity, but pleasant. Anyway, this is just what I was warming up with while I tell the story of this Elijah Craig barrel proof. Back in ye old days, before B523 and the variable age statements that came with it, Elijah Craig barrel proof was 12 years old or older, guaranteed. But as the times have changed, as the whiskey market has become more competitive and a lot more cutthroat, distilleries have had to make adjustments. So this beautiful bottle is sort of a dinosaur at this point. It is 12 years old, non-chill filtered, and this is C922 is the batch. This is actually I lied. I was about to say this is the only bottle I have from 2022. I did manage to get an A122 that is all the way in my basement bunker. Haven't opened it yet, and I don't plan on it for quite a while. But I did manage to find several backups of C922 in my search last year for the elusive C923. And this is 124.8 proof, 62.4% alcohol, at least 12 years old. And quite frankly, this is also by Heaven Hill, in case you have been living under a rock. And this was my favorite Elijah Craig barrel proof they'd ever done. I haven't tried the B522. I didn't try C919 or C920 or B517. Yes, I think that's the one. This one is the best, the C922. And Sagamore is really running up quite a lovely record. Oh man, that's a great thing to warm up to. But what I really enjoyed about C922, well, you're about to find out. Sweet, it's almost like a sweet hazelnut, like a Rocher chocolate. A little bit of vanilla and custard. Oh man, that's nice. You don't get any of the harsh citrus notes, but you get a delightful peanut, vanilla, creme brulee, and oak. Just an undertone, a silky smooth, buttery fresh oak smell to this glass. I can already see these lovely legs dripping down like spider webs throughout the whole glass. This just looks amazing. And the color, let's just do it. And the color, amber, dark amber. It's gorgeous. This reminds me of the old saying that would come with Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. This smells like a Snickers bar in a glass. And that flavor note really stands out to me because, at least from what I've noticed in the last year or two, is that Elijah Craig really has started to move in a different direction with the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof flavor profile. So the A123 of last year, if we're thinking the batch that came immediately after this one, and this is the last of the batches where you could say all of the Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs from C921 to C922 or A121, all of them tasted roughly the same with some minor differences. A123 was a big departure. It had an astringent berry forward note, and it was the last bottle of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof that's guaranteed 12 years or older barrel proof whiskey in there. And it was a departure from the usual profile. Then B523 was 11 years old, a little older than that. Just tasted like bitter graham crackers. It's not terrible. I mean, it's Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. It's going to be good. Then you had C923 with that same berry note. I'm just saying that, and A124 had like a sour note that I have not tried, but everything I've heard about it makes me not want to try it. And then B524 was just this dark, powerful, proofy whiskey that I truly enjoyed, and I will do a review of that. But I thought, why not just give a chance to the Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs of old? Yeah, that just smells like hazelnut recher chocolate pudding with creme brulee, vanilla, oak, vanilla ice cream, and just a lot of love, a lot of character, and nothing too overpowering. It's very well balanced. Anyway. Oh, man. Immediately. Just chocolate, peanuts, caramel, toffee, a little proof, a little seltzery proofness, but that just goes away immediately on the front of your palate and just starts to coat the inside and around your mouth. And gently, the oak makes its way down your throat. Getting the finish now. Just tastes like you ate a really good Snickers bar. Or like a Milky Way that had some candy pecans on there. It was warm, like you left it in the car, or you thought, oh, okay, I'm going to just take some candied nuts, and just because I have one lying around, I'm going to take a candy bar and throw it in a plastic bag for a snack in the middle of winter. But you forget that you left it in your car when you go into work, but you kept it on the dashboard. So even though it's cold, it melted up when you came back out and you started trying to eat it. You peeled the bag back, tried to eat it like that. That's what this whiskey reminds me of. It's great. Wow, this is stunning. And just leather. You get a little bit of that leather when you have a taste of it, but it's not unpleasant at all. Little shade of tobacco in there, but mostly just fresh leather. Wow. Now when I think of classic Elijah Craig barrel proof notes, C922 just does everything. This might not be what you think of when you think Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, like high power, high octane, strong flavors that's going to overpower your palate. This doesn't have the proofiness of C919. This doesn't have the bombastic personality of C923. This isn't like the cherry red lipstick women in a bustier that A123 was. And it's not the sugarcane candy sweet molasses that the B batches usually are. This C922 just has a balance to it. A balance as if you are watching a man with plates, keeping everything in air at the same time and just managing to have it all work cohesively with balance. They just don't make this like they used to, is what I'm getting at. And I felt inspired to try this whiskey again because I'm about halfway through, to just remind myself of what Elijah Craig used to be, what people got sick and tired of actually tasting because of how consistently good it was. It all tasted the same, right? And I thought, man, this is an awful thing to be so good at something and to have such consistency with your product that it ends up being a detriment. I'm trying to think of another company where being remarkably consistent ended up turning the market against them. If you think of one in the comments, let me know. This reminds me of Bic pens, and I think they have a brand. I think it's the Diamond B2. It was one of the original designs that the company had developed in 1950, and it is one of the most successful designs ever made. They've made over 50 billion of them, and they're still in production today. So almost 75 years they've been making the very same pen. You might even have one. Google it. I guarantee you, if you look at it, it's just a clear container with the blue cap and the little ballpoint pen. That's it. It's less than $1, but I digress. Man. And just like a sweet oak, not overpowering, accents the chocolate, the caramel, and the toffee. The vanilla kind of takes a backseat. Not a ton of fruit, but just peanuts, candied pecans, like a praline custard maybe. Quite frankly, this is really amazing stuff. If you have a chance to try C922 or anything from C921, C920, anything of old Elijah Craig that was 12 years old, don't think to yourself, oh, this is awful whiskey, or oh, it's just all going to taste the same. If you could find this for less than $100 or maybe even like $120, and you don't even have a bottle of this pre-stuff, compared to what you're paying for today, I mean, you're getting for $70 regular Elijah Craig barrel proof, $65 for the Larceny, $65 for the Bernheim, and that's about like 6 to 8 years old, those two. And Elijah Craig's getting younger and younger. Now, I will admit, the C924 has not come out yet. They haven't released the specs as of Labor Day, September 2nd of 2024. And I hope that I'm just so excited. As soon as it comes out, I'm absolutely buying it. And I will do a review of it. But just think about the value that you're getting. And 12-year-old cast strength bourbon for like $150. For secondary prices on these bottles, and it's like 3 or 4 years old, and you're not going to find it anywhere else. That sounds like such a great deal to me right now. Like, am I crazy to think that? Like, if I find an Elijah Craig barrel proof that's 12 years or older, I mean, if I'm thinking about other comparable products on the market that's barrel proof, that's 1.5 or twice the price, or I mean, I digress. Anyway, this is a lovely pour. Thank you for listening, and I genuinely hope that you're having a great Memorial Day, or I'm sorry, Labor Day, and as always, enjoy. Cheers, and bye-bye. Oh my goodness.